Praise be to Jesus. We give God praise. He is a loving God. I want you to look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living being. James chapter 2 verse 26 says, the body without the spirit is dead. The body without the spirit is dead. Now the question I want you to ask yourself, where do you come from? Where is your origin? If I ask you to describe yourself, what will you say? That God formed man of the dust of the earth, but man didn't have life until God breathed the breath of life into his nostril, and man became a living being. What gave man identity was the breath of God. What gave man his vocation was the breath of God. What is your origin? Where do you come from? Is the breath of God. You have a source. If God created man and man didn't have life, but the breath gave man life, it means your purpose on this earth cannot be achieved without your source, the breath. And where do you come from? You are first of all not a Ghanaian, not an American. You are not from the UK. You are not from any space. First of all, your origin is the breath of God. The reason, if you don't know your origin, you won't know where you are going, and you will not know your purpose, and you will not know your identity. What describes you is what God placed inside you, His breath. If you describe yourself, give yourself an identity different from what God's breath gave you, then you have what we call identity crisis. But we know ourselves that the breath of God is our origin. The breath of God is our identity. What gives us potential is the breath that came into us, and we know where we are going. If you know where you are coming from, you know where you are going. The Bible said Jesus is the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and the end. It means that the beginning and the end are the same person. If I know my beginning, I know my end. I have a source, which is the breath of God. It's the breath of God that gives me identity. The breath of God is what shapes me. It's the breath of God that motivates me to move for God. Without the breath of God, I will not have the image and likeness. And I will not know who I am. And I cannot function from God. But I pray that today, you function from where you come from. You will not function from outside your environment. You will function from within. For the Bible says, judge no man by the flesh. God formed flesh, but had to breathe into man for him to have life. I'm assuring you and I'm encouraging you, what is driving you is what God placed inside you. The energy that must move you in this life is the breath of God. And what is giving you a destination is the breath of God. May you find grace. May you find your origin. May you find your identity. May God help us to always give that identity prevalence over any other thing. When we move, it is because of something God breathed into us. This is Pastor Edebadom, and God bless you.